I had a pair of shorts on, but usually it's just boxers. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Putback on SNY.TV. I'm Ian Begley here with my buddy Maurice Peebles, and today we have Rashad Phillips, somebody who has played the game at a very high level, the proprietor of SportsTalk2319.com. Gets into a ton of NBA analysis. He's got a show with Kendrick Perkins, and he does a ton of work on the draft. And this is one of the first big decisions for Knicks president Leon Rose. Is this draft pick coming up? They're going to have a lottery pick. They're going to have a pick late in the first round and an early second round pick. Rashad, they finished with the 6th worst record. Who do you think in that top 6 neighborhood would fit best with RJ Barrett?
It's all about ball domination. You know, guys that can really control the tempo and make plays and make everybody around them better. So obviously you want to go point guard here with the draft pick. And why not go after the best point guard, in my opinion, in the draft?
And is that LaMelo?
I was going to let you fill it in. So he's box office. He's exciting. Obviously, he can score the ball. But his ability to kind of shape chemistry is what the New York Knicks need at this moment. They need a quarterback. LaMelo Ball is the Tom Brady. He's the Trevor Lawrence. He's the Patrick Mahomes of this draft. You got to pick him up.
You know, other teams doing their homework around this draft and the lottery believe that guys around LaMelo and himself really see the Knicks as a good destination. I think the Knicks are also high on him. Maybe there's a fit there.
How low do you see LaMelo Ball being selected, man? I know you seem pretty high on him generally. What's the lowest the Knicks could possibly grab him as their lead guard?
3. I don't think he goes past 3. You have to get these dynamic point guards early because these type of players, especially at this position, they're franchise changers. You got to grab these guys early. I don't see LaMelo Ball going past 3.
Barrett and Mitchell are 2 prized players. Is there any way we can get a bona fide superstar in a trade without putting either one of them in the mix? Or is our best way just to stand pat, let Thibodeau and his staff work their magic, and hopefully a bona fide superstar would want to come in the next year or 2?
Coach, I knew you loved X's and O's, but I didn't know you were as passionate about the transaction side of the game. Some of the players at Mamaroneck under you might be worried about being on the trading block. The best path forward is to obviously develop RJ Barrett, develop Mitchell Robinson under Tom Thibodeau, and hope that this young core becomes attractive enough to get free agents a couple summers from now. But there's no sure thing there, so I would expect the Knicks to be aggressive in pursuing potential trade options. Now, if you're talking about a Devin Booker or a Donovan Mitchell, I can't see a deal getting done for one of those guys without including a Barrett or a Robinson. A lot of things have changed for the Knicks since the season ended in mid-March, but one thing that remains the same is Mitchell Robinson being a big part of this team's future. And we've seen a couple of videos that Mitchell has posted on social media or have been posted by others of Mitchell shooting and dribbling. And I wanted to bring in my buddy Shawn Farmer to break this all down. NBA trainer, college trainer, high school trainer. He trains players at all levels.
That's the thing for a big guy when you're learning a new skill set or trying to extend your game. Is getting comfortable, and he looks really comfortable in those videos. It looks really smooth. It's the same shot, same way every time. He don't have what we look for as hitches and glitches, and Mitchell is smooth. It's the same way, same shot every time. That's a good indicator going forward.
You know, we saw him work on it before games last year, after practice last year. He came into the season thinking that he was going to be taking some threes. I think what happened over the course of the year was maybe the coaching staff reined him in a little bit, limited what they wanted him to do. But Tom Thibodeau's already talked about the idea that now you're seeing so many lineups that are 5 out where you have the center who could shoot threes. So maybe that's something that they look at with Robinson and they give him a chance to shoot. We also saw that video of Mitchell dribbling and just in general, what do you think of what you saw?
Dribbling the basketball, I mean, it's only 24 seconds in the shot clock in the NBA. So I don't think he'll get 100 dribbles. But if he can show and he can prove to Tom Thibodeau that he can take a guy on the wing or out by the three-point line and take him off the dribble and dunk on him, I don't think Thibodeau will have a problem with that. You know, in today's game, shooting, passing, cutting, over the last decade, That's what has been winning. That's the formula for winning. And I think he can be an asset if he can do those things well and actually show Tom that he can do it night in and night out.
When you look at what you see on film with Mitchell, how does the balance look? Hand placement? What do you see in there?
The thing that I really noticed that he does, like wings and guards, his hand prep is really, really good. He's already got his hands out, and what that does, it eliminates turnovers, hands not being ready on the catch. It eliminates that slow release, and his release looks really, really quick for a big man. What I would like to see Mitch do going forward is really focus on staying balanced. Sometimes he kicks his right leg out. He's not on balance. He fades back. And I saw 4 or 5 reps where when he stuck the landing, he was efficient. But when he leaned his head back and he was off balance and his shoulders, what we call floating, he was off target. So those are the things that he needs to clean up.
Hi, Ian. I'm going to ask a question about Frank. Who else? The Knicks haven't signed a rookie to a multi-year contract after their rookie deal ended since Charlie Ward. Do you think Frank has a good chance of getting a multi-year contract? And if he doesn't, do you see him getting moved in a package for a player like Zach LaVine or Chris Paul?
Caitlin, I know you're a proud member of that Frank Ntilikina fan club, and Ntilikina, as always, is one of the more polarizing topics. My best guess is that Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau wouldn't move Ntilikina unless that trade returned a player that they really feel can help them push this thing forward. I think the most likely scenario here is if he continues to excel on the defensive end, if he takes a couple steps forward on offense, you can see the Knicks re-signing him this summer. So this would be a crucial season for Ntilikina with regards to his future in New York. What is the hardest attribute to measure when you're analyzing a prospect?
That's a great question, Ian. When you're evaluating, it's such a weird science because there's really no proper way to do it. It's just really off feel, experience, resources, and it takes a little bit of luck too. You have to be more right than you are wrong. When you start to see you're more wrong than right, you need to get out of the business. You know, and so far for me personally, I've been more right than wrong, but damn, I've been wrong.
In the realm of getting things wrong sometimes, what was your worst swing and a miss? What was the person you got the wrongest?
Woo! Man, I was so wrong on Luka Doncic, man. Good God, I was wrong. Let's just address the elephant in the room. The fact that he played in Europe and us over here in America, we're not so tuned in to European basketball, not knowing how dominant he was going to be in the NBA. You know, I never said he was going to be a bad player. A lot of people say, oh, you said he was going to be a bust, and I never used the B word. I call that the B word. I mean, I've never said he was going to be a bust. I just said that I personally wouldn't have drafted him in the top 5. He didn't go number 1 in the draft. So obviously there was 2 other teams, other NBA organizations with scouting departments that didn't want him either. So it's funny how I'm catching the flack for that when there was professional teams that passed on him as well.
We'll have much more from Rashad next week on the Putback on LaMelo Ball and other potential Knicks prospects in that draft. For Maurice, I'm Ian, and we'll see you then.